Hi again, all plane spotters and aircraft lovers. Today we're jumping over to every plane spotter's dream airport to take a look at some of the craziest and scariest shots I've got over the years. Welcome to my favorite place in the world, Princess Juliana International. A truly unique airport, a plane spotter's paradise. To start off the countdown, we'll have to go back to the summer of 2010, when I first visited St. Martin. I filmed a lot at this airport after sunset, but there's one thing I've only tried once. This is, without a doubt, one of the scariest things you can do here. It's pretty hard to capture the feeling, but since you can't see any parts of the plane, it's hard to tell how low it's coming in. Every part of my body is just screaming at me to run away at this point. It's not nearly as scary on camera, but after this experience I tend to film the approaches from a safer and more comfortable distance. Now, moving on to number 9, still back in 2010. I guess that most of you have seen the common activity of fence surfing at Mau Beach. It's a really unique and exhilarating opportunity to get this close to the planes taking off. But you quickly learn that there is one airline you should keep a safe distance from. And that's the Insulair and their powerful McDonnell Douglas MD-83s. Where most plane usually lines up like this, Insulair usually does it a little bit different. I guess you could call this taking use of all available runway, or maybe they're just showing off for the crowd. Either way, they're sure putting on a great show. And one time back in 2010, I guess they wanted to have a little extra fun. While waiting for a Corsair 747 to exit the runway, it lined up as close to the fence as possible in normal Insulair fashion. Then, without releasing the brake, it gave takeoff thrust and just stood there for a few seconds. Enjoy. Moving on to number 8. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Let's take a closer look at that. This was also back in 2010 during my first visit to St. Martin. It's actually one of the few clips where I wasn't the one holding the camera. If you look really closely here, you can actually see me in the white shirt throwing myself to the ground. I've sure caught a lot of scary and low approaches over Mau Beach, but this one was my first one, and it really was something special. And maybe just a little bit too close for comfort. Moving on to number 7. Sometimes it can be pretty difficult to get a steady shot behind an aircraft taking off. It's usually a little windy, to say the least. One time back in 2013, I caught these Win Air pilots showing off that even the Twin Otter can produce some serious prop blast. Well, that's the only explanation I can come up with for doing this. I mean, it's not like the runway is too short. Unfortunately, they managed to mess up my static shot quite a bit. And another time it didn't go too well for me was when I tried to film this US Airways 757 some days later. now we'll move on to number 6, and for this we'll jump onto a short Winair flight over to the neighboring island of St. Barth. They've got a really special airport over there with one of the most difficult approaches in the world. In other words, it's a perfect place for a plane spotting trip. That's just beautiful. However, one time back in 2011 I tried something pretty stupid. This was pretty scary, especially considering that there has been plenty of runway overruns over here. This was of course a very stupid thing to do, and let's say the airport security wasn't too happy with me. And with that we'll wrap up the first part of this series. I really hope you liked it. Please stay tuned for the second part where we'll take a closer look at Princess Juliana with another plane spotting guide. And then in part 3 we'll go through the top 5 of my craziest and scariest moments. It seems like the sound in the last video was pretty hard, but congratulations to the winners. You can see all the correct answers in the description down below. Now, thank you very much for watching and good luck with the sound guessing.